Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting edition of Psychic Sundays Live with your host, the Queen of Booga Booga, Psychic Sally Diane.
Hi, everybody. How are you this evening? I hope everybody's had a good week. Um, I'm glad to be ending the week or starting the week, depending on how you look at it, with my friends right here on YouTube for Psychic Sundays Live. I say it every week, and it's true every week, that this is my favorite hour of the week. And I could see over in my chat, I have my chat back, although it's, pardon my reach here, make the letters just a little bit bigger for my eyes. Okay, now I didn't get any emails this week. So I'm just reminding everybody again, anybody who sends me an email at thequeenofboogabooga@gmail.com, right over there, right over there, queenofboogabooga@gmail.com, and you send it to me before the show on Sunday. Anytime during the week, you send in the questions. Your questions will be answered first. Also, I was talking yesterday to Pam Mahoney and Lynn Stevenson, and you guys know who they are. They've been on the show before. They're two perfectly lovely psychics, and the three of us are getting together, and we're calling ourselves the Psychic Soul Sisters. How about that name? And we are going to have an event in early July, and it will be open readings, demonstrations. We're going to have a display of psychic tools, just all kinds of stuff, and you get to meet us. Okay, and we will have more details about that as time goes on. But mark your calendars. July 7th, I believe it is. It's a Friday, and that would be the first Friday in July, and we'll be at the Queen's Inn, and we'll be the Psychic Sisters from 7 till 10 live, and you can meet us all. Okay, so wow, look at all this. Hi, Marcy, Yvette, Gemini Girl, Janifa, Jana, High Priestess Tarot. Oh, hi. Lynette. Okay, and Dragonfire and Donna. Okay, so glad to see you all here. First question is from High Priestess Tarot, and she says, will the judge like the pretrial memorandum I produced in court July 6th? I don't know. How long was it? You know, it's kind of like with what's going on with you. Yeah, that's true. With what's going on with you, you're still your perspective is still a little skewed, High Priestess, and in a way, you're kind of giving too much credit to the bluster up from the other side. Okay, and you don't, I guess what I'm trying to say is you don't have to fight so six. Okay, let's see how July 6th is going to go. Let's see how court's going to go for you. Now, oh, overhand cam. Okay, so look at that. That's interesting. And that one flipped over before too. And you were asking what the judge thinks. And this is a judge that has seen you before. And you know, they have to be balanced. But really, he's going in with a more favorable opinion of you right off the hop. And I think that there's only so much he can do. But he does see what you've gone through. Is your ex like a little Hitler? It's just because he really puts out a lot of shit. Pardon my French, I think. But yeah. Okay, yeah. Do the memorandum if you wish, but it's not. It's kind of like gilding the lily. What he's going to think of it is the same thing he thought before. They do see you as favorable. So go ahead and do it because you've already put the work into it, and I know but it's more to satisfy your own sense of justice than it is to satisfy the court's sense of justice. because what the cards are telling me from beginning to end is the scales of justice are already tipped in your favor. I think that your ex-husband may have shown a bad side of himself to the court. Would that be true? Okay, thank you so much, Lynette. Okay, and hi, Jana. Now we have a question from Glenifa, and Glenifa says, "Hello, Sally. Wanted to know if my mom is okay." Whoops. From hitting her head on a rock today. Oh my goodness. Also, will I find an apartment this week while in Colorado? Oh, we're sneaking in 2 questions. I think I'll let that slide. But while I'm shuffling the cards, I want everybody to remember to like. That really helps us with our analytics. Please subscribe. That helps us out a lot too. Plus that, if you subscribe, you'll get to ask a question in the comments. And it would also help a lot if you shared this and told your friends about us too. So anyhow, let's see what the cards have to say about Glenifa and her mom. Let's see what's going on around her. Oh, she may have concussed herself a bit. It just seems like she's a little drawn into herself right now. So yeah, I think her head's swimming. That's for sure. I'm not so sure about that apartment. It doesn't look like you're tying up with the right landlord there. Oh, you're definitely not tying up with the right landlord. I'm sorry, your mom's going to be okay. She's just going to be a little tappy. And that might just be because her head hurts. So overall, your mom's going to be okay, but it just looks like it's going to kind of mellow her out for the next couple of days. But this right here, you also ask around an apartment and you get 2 reverse kings. So that tells me that the landlord's going to turn you away on that one. That's okay. There's plenty of apartments to be had. So keep looking. Okay, and keep tuning in to Psychic Sundays Live, Glenifa.
Next, you have Gemini girl who's looking for a love reading.
Ooh, and a potential new love. Okay. Springtime's a good season for love, too, isn't it? Well, to be honest, any season's a good season for love. Okay. I know I have to work on my website this week, folks. I think I'm going to put up the recipe for Kiffy oil. And that is a perfumed oil that you make out of essential oils. And is it ever good at, I'm not going to necessarily say attracting men. I don't believe that makes men fall in love with you, but it will make men who do love you more. So it kind of amplifies those feelings. So it's a good attraction thing. Okay, so potential love reading for Gemini girl. That is, if you guys are interested, tell me if you're interested in the recipe for Kiffy oil. Really smells pretty too. And it's got lang lang and geranium in it, I think. Okay, so Gemini girl. The first thing the cards are telling you is that you've learned a lot from your past relationships and never lose sight of that. So you carry some wisdom with you about relationships as you're coming forward. So always apply that wisdom. Don't go against your own rules and don't ignore red flags that you see because you're capable of seeing them. It does say that you are on a good path, and there's that idea of having learned your lesson. So you are on a good path. You've already made your mind up what you want from a relationship. Don't accept anything less. Because it feels like when I look into your past, it feels like in the past you've kind of let yourself get into relationships that just eat away and erode your self-confidence. And that's not a good look. So you're on the right path. Just keep going in the direction you're going and keep by the rules that you've set for yourself. Okay, and then you have the Page of Wands, but it's the Page of Wands reversed. And the Page of Wands are, pages are about messages. And so it feels like the fire, you haven't exactly lit the fire yet. First off, yes, you've been stung before. It's kind of like you need to learn to flirt a little bit better. Okay, so learn to flirt a little bit better. Okay, so Yvette, Marcy. Hi, Karen. Whoops.
Karen is looking for spirit messages.
Okay. Spirit messages for Karen. My pleasure. First off, Karen, I get that there's somebody who's passed within who you've lost maybe within about maybe a year ago, somewhere between 6 years to a month ago. 6 months to a year ago. It's somebody that you've lost who's coming back around. So look for this person to visit you in a dream, or maybe even, somehow show themselves. And it just has a feeling of a very newly passed soul around you. Okay, so let's see what else Spirit has to say for Karen. Okay, so it's funny, they're showing me a workspace and a money box, which I see as a metaphor that there's more money to be had where you're working. This is a good time for you to look at opportunities, or maybe even work on making your own opportunities. And part of making your own opportunities comes with spotting a need and then coming up with a solution to the need that includes employing you in that position. Okay, so keep up the good work, Karen. Oh, hi, Eva. I'm so glad you're doing better.
Lynette wants to know what her friends think of them.
What do my friends think of me? Sometimes I worry that I'm too overbearing. Well, if you worry about something like that, because usually we're the last to see the flaws in. Well, that's not true. That's not true. We see our flaws sometimes. But our friends see our flaws as well. And they love us despite it. You know that, don't you? But let's see. Lynette's friends. Just show me Lynette's friends. Lynette. I know. Lynette.
Lynette, can you go a week without having the last word?
He's pretty good. He gets it from his dad. His dad was a psychic on the fair circus. As a matter of fact, his dad was a psychic on the second psychic fair I did in Canada. And we were both at that fair. We remember everybody that was there except each other. Okay, so Lynette's friends. You are liked. Okay, so you did want to know what your friends think of you. First off, your friends think that you kind of throw away happiness, that you don't allow yourself to be happy. So maybe you need to start taking better care of yourself and being kinder to yourself, and accept happiness as given to you. Not every silver cloud has a black lining. So try and look at life in a little more positive way, because your friends really worry about your happiness factor there. They do like you, and there's a man around you, and it seems like there's a man in your life they think is very good and very good for you and good for your happiness. Is that a husband or a son? Okay, and then finally, yeah, okay, so your friends like you, and they see you as a person who is loved. They also, however, see you as a person who sometimes gets a little too nervous about things and tends to deny yourself happiness. And you're always too worried about stuff happening. Just relax, let it go, and if the worst happens, you'll deal with it. You'll fix it. Good and bad happens in this life. We can't throw away the good worrying about bad. Okay? But your friends just think you worry too much. Okay, Dragonfire says, hello, lovely lady. Ooh, thank you. I will take compliments. Just wanted to know how my money situation will be in the next month. Okay, Dragonfire's money situation for the next month. Oh, yeah, dragon in your name. How can you not attract gold? Okay, so Dragonfire's money situation. And the cards say, interesting. Okay, so I'm looking at the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands is about people not carrying through with their responsibility. And so this month, this is a good month to be an auditor. This is a good month to double check all the facts and figures. This is a good month to go over all your statements and make sure they're correct. Because it looks like this is a month where you'll find a lot of mistakes made by other people. So that's what you want to do, because that keeps your money going on the path that you wish it to. So the cards are coming right out and putting the responsibility dead in your lap. They're saying people screw up, but it's up to you to find them so you don't get hurt by other people's mistakes. But when I look toward the end of the month, I see you in a healing mode. The Five of Swords isn't always a nice card, but in this particular instance, my card is drawn by this guy right here who's kind of in a sweat lodge, but feels like he's resting, that he's healing. So money-wise, keep your eye on everything, double check everything. And know that by the end of the month, you've got recovery coming your way. It's not as nice as a lottery winning, but recovery is helpful. Okay.
Also, either put some gold in your pillow or under your pillow, especially if you're a metal dragon.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have to be solid gold either. Gold-plated stud earring is all you need.
Okay.
Banafsha.
Hello, Banafsha.
Love triangle.
How can I get out of this love triangle situation? Well, that's a situation, even if you think you're on top, get out of. Just get out of it. Love is a two-way street, not a you get third, thruples don't work. I don't care what anybody says. Thruples don't work. Human beings will always couple off. And when that happens, the third leg of the triangle, it ends up hurt and betrayed. So, let's see what the cards have to say. Really interesting. When they show that first card, because you're asking about a love triangle, and the tarot cards are kind of reaching out saying, you know better. And it's kind of like anything they have to tell you, you already know. So you know what the deal is here. I'm right. Yeah. It's, and I do understand wanting to stay in a situation even if it's bad because you're so hung up on the person. But no matter how hung up you are on a person or how attracted you are to a person, if the situation around them is bad, it's bad. You need both a good situation and a good chemistry. And there's definitely not good chemistry here. Okay. Yeah, I've got to say right now, right here, the first thing the cards are doing, the same thing I'm doing. It's like walk away from a triangle. Always walk away from a triangle. Because if you're worth having, the fella in the triangle that you want will follow you. Okay? Because I don't think anybody's really comfortable here, but you just need to walk away from it. And tell them, if you want her, go ahead and go for her. You can't have both of us, and I'm going to go on and live my life. And just go that way. He will follow you. So that's what I see. That's how you get away with, you get out of it one step at a time in the other direction.
All right. Next, we have a vet. Will I receive a new job offer this week? The other job's conflicting with college classes.
Okay, well.
Can't have that.
I'm sure Marcy can see you, Eva. I can see you. And I'm so glad to see you back. And on YouTube, too. I saw that. Okay, so we're back to Yvette. And she wants to know, will I receive a new job offer this week? Well, it depends. Did you ask for a new job offer? Now, I have to say that. Make sure it's known that you want a new position, that you're interested in moving on. You have to let the universe know what's going on with you. Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say about Yvette and job offers. Okay, so yeah, I see that, like where you're at, I think you feel like you're going backwards a bit. So yeah, that's not a good situation to be in. I would want to move beyond that too. Yeah, of course you would, because you feel like you're going backwards where you're at, even though you know you have a perfectly good set of skills here. Yeah, the potential is there, but remember what I said, you gotta let it be known. Because it's there, but it's not cast in stone that you'll get it. So step forward and go after that job offer a little bit more aggressively. And Donna wants to know, is our financial situation going to get any better in the near future? Okay.
Just how far is the near future?
Well, in Donna's situation, she's looking midsummer and up ahead to Christmas. I understand, because she's kind of got several levels of looking ahead. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. It's just kind of like, I know it's not much, but you've got a little something that you tuck away somewhere, and that's why I say that's interesting. Because it's kind of like you tuck it away, but you need to put some crystals with it, like emeralds or moss agates or phreonite, bloodstone. Get or even peridot, and peridot's arbor stone. So yeah, so put some energy, something energizing next to, and a diamond, clear quartz crystal, a Herkimer diamond, any of those. Put it near wherever you're tucking your little pin money. I know it's not it's not enough to fix a car or anything. It's just there in case you're a little short on groceries. Oh yeah. When I was shuffling the cards, I got this idea that there's some program, maybe a top up to Social Security that you haven't looked at, because there's this kind of top up program. It feels like there's a hand out there that you haven't you haven't taken advantage of yet. Yeah, and the Pope turned upside down. That's interesting. Keep track of everything, because as you go forward, there is this hand out, and I think that there's something to do with the government. Even though they're showing me church, it just feels like it's one of those you need to do A, B, C, and D, and make sure that you don't lose the paperwork. Make sure that you document everything. Document when you talk to them, who you talk to, dates and times on everything. And I just say that because whatever you get, you're going to be audited on it later. So you need to make sure that you hang on to your paperwork. But yeah, there's a helper there.
All right, folks, we're going to be right back.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Pick 3 for the week of May 22nd. And as every week, you pick one card, 1 through 3. I'm going to pick 3 cards, and that will be your card for the week. So which card are you going to choose this week? Are you going to choose card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3? So which card is your card? Is it card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3? Okay, if you pick card number 1, then your card for this week is the 10 of Wands reversed. And the 10 of Wands reversed talks about, is basically about abdication of responsibility. It talks about people letting you down and people not living up to, not doing their job. And so you're going to have an awful lot of that around you this week. So this isn't a good week to rely that somebody has done their job. Check everything this week. Did you pick card number 2? Well, if you pick card number 2, then your card for this week is a 10 of Swords. And the 10 of Swords on the face of it is about a bad situation. But the thing with 10s is 10s are completions. And the 10 of Swords talks about being stuck in a place of bad feeling. And so this week, try and move forward beyond a bad situation. Because what this card is saying is that, right now, the situation is over and done with. You're just staying at a point of being miserable. So make sure you take another step forward and move away from negative situations. There's nothing to be gained there. Did you pick card number 3? Well, if you pick card number 3, you got an excellent card. The world is yours this week. This is a week to reach for or ask for what you want. This is going to be a good week for you. And thank you for tuning in to Pick 3. Tune in again next week for Pick 3 for the week ending in, I think it's June 3rd.
And we're back to our regular scheduled show.
And we are. And if anybody out there wants to see me in person, call the Spa Near the Tracks. And Spa Near the Tracks, am I pointing to the right one? Yes, I am. Okay, the Spa Near the Tracks at 519-272-1293. And set up an appointment with your Queen of Ooga Booga, Sally Diane. And I know not everybody can make it to Stratford. If you would like to get a reading online, I also offer online readings. Just send an email to the Queen of Ooga Booga at gmail.com, and I can set up a reading to read you anywhere in the country. Okay, so we're back to the questions.
And the next question comes from Jana Mosby.
Hi, Jana.
How do the people feel about me at the horse stable? I'm new there, and there's a language and cultural barrier.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see what kind of advice the cards can give you, Jana. Okay, Jana, be patient with them. You know, you're right that there is a well-established culture there, but they are very nice people. And I know that where you're at right now, the decision wasn't made so much for, it wasn't made out of a point of love, but a point of thinking that this is a better situation for you, which, by the way, it is. Keep giving them a chance. Know that they're good people. They really are, and they want to help you out. So take the time to go ahead and set up and establish a communication with them. This should work out very well for you. So they like you, Jana. Okay, so back to New Love. And New Love says, hello, what do people generally think about me? Okay. Now always remember, everybody, that there's more good people in this world than bad. Always. Okay, so New Love. Interesting. Okay, well, you wanted to know what people think about you, and I think that you've had some difficulties in your past, whether that was from being an abusive situation, abusive relationship, maybe a divorce, because it looks like you've been tried by fire. And you've had some bad things happen to you, and the people around you are well aware of that. But they're also well aware that, they see you as being somebody who's taken control of her own life, which is really nice. So they do see you in a positive light. They're just well aware that you've had some difficulty in the past. So everybody's rooting for you here. And it feels like you've already made some progress as far as stabilizing yourself and building up your confidence and your own self-sufficiency. So people overall have a good attitude towards you. All right. So Donna Butler wants the general reading for June. Well, Donna, I was just thinking, you know what? I got to pull out the runes. So we're just going to do the runes for the next few readings. Okay. Okay, so you've got this tenacity and this strength overall that carries you through June June's a real family month. It looks like you start out dealing with in the very beginning of June, you've got some sort of an issue coming up that you need to deal with. And it feels like it's unexpected because it's presented like a thorn in your side. But it's followed by, there's the other one, the thorn and the Haggalah. So I'm sorry to say that June, and we're just talking about the first few days in June, something's going to be landed in your lap. But it feels more like, first off, it's not something you deal with yourself, but it feels more like something that's been building up, something that's been wanting to happen. So I'm telling you about that right away. But the rest of the month of June looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so the first 3 days suck. The rest of June is pretty good. Because as soon as you go through this, on the other side, you've got Fehu, which is, prosperity and home. So here you've got some help with actually prosperity and putting your roots down around home. So sometimes the best situations in our life starts out with something negative. And you have a situation here in June. It starts out very negative, boom, turns around to being positive. So that by the middle of June, you feel like you feel victorious. You feel oh, that's right. We have fireworks going on, and I can hear them. Okay, so the middle of June, you're dealing with family in a good way. You may hear about the birth of a child coming up. Legal matters go well in the middle of June, and you also life is also offering you some pleasant surprises. So life's really going to try and make up for whatever they put you through the first 3 days of June. Also, you've got answers here, and it feels like ancestral God, but I think that's actually, somebody who has passed actually reaching out to you. Maybe your mom or somebody like that reaching out to you, maybe reaching to you in a dream, but you're going to get a message from beyond. Okay, so overall, everything that happens in June, both good and bad, is actually planned by the universe to make you stronger. Because by the end of June, you feel like you're starting on a much stronger footing than you started it. Okay, so thank you for the question and the opportunity to use the runes.
Next, we have Suzanne, who had an interview on Friday.
Ooh, well, congratulations, Suzanne.
Is she going to get the job?
How can anybody resist those dimples? And I know that made you smile, too. Okay, so Suzanne and the job, right there. Oops, there we go. Okay. No, I don't think you're going to get this one, and it's not for anything bad. You may, they want to work with you, and they may actually offer you something else. It's just the particular job you interviewed for. It's kind of like they see you as somebody they want to work for them, but not in the position that you were interviewed for. So they'll turn you down on that, but they might suggest that you interview for another job. Because at the end of this whole process, there's something serendipitous that comes around. So basically, wait for it. So you may not get this particular job, but you certainly made a good impression, and it will pay off well in the future. So who's next?
Next, we have Mary Ann, who's looking for a spirit massage.
Ooh, my favorite kind of massage. Okay, so we'll pick up the Rudrashka seed. Mary Ann. Okay. It feels like the one thing they're saying is that you need to make the first move in situations around you. It feels like you're kind of waiting for somebody else to make that first move, and they're saying, no, you got to make the first move. So you've got to be the one to make the call and suggest whatever activities. It needs to be you who makes the first move in the situation that's happening around you in the area of romance. They seem to feel that you're confident in every other area. Okay.
Well, there you go. Joanne's looking for guided messages.
Joanne. Okay. Okay. Joanne and guided messages for you. Okay. So they're showing me an older female member of your family. It feels like somebody who's the next generation up. So it could be your mom, but it could be your aunt or even an older sister. But it feels like there's somebody who's older, whose health has been so, and Spirit is saying that now's a good time to visit. Now's a good time to visit. Now's a good time to talk to that person. Okay. So thank you for that.
And next we have Jessica, who's looking for a general reading for June.
Okay.
What does Jessica need to know?
What does Jessica need to know indeed? Okay. And any of you who are out there who would like to see me in person but can't come to Stratford, make sure you send me an email to the Queen of Ooga Booga at gmail.com to set up an online reading. You know, I really love to do the online readings for the subscribers because it's just so nice to put a face to the name. And I always find it so awesome to meet you guys. So anyhow, back to Jessica. Jessica would like to message for June. Jessica and June. Ooh, it starts out with some clarity, maybe a little bit of an epiphany. So clarity around something that's been confusing you and muddling your thoughts. So that's good. Now you have strength here, but it's reversed. So it's kind of saying you might not feel quite confident. You know, sometimes, you know, we go through different phases, but it's showing me your confidence being at you know, kind of at a low, at a point in time when you need to emote confidence. So if you can't be confident, fake confidence. This is a good month for you to put your shoulders back and your chin out and act like you know what you're doing even when you don't. Oh, good. Yeah. June is a month when you can build yourself up work-wise. So a good month work-wise. Focus on work. Pretend to be confident even when you're not. It will pay off.
Well, doesn't that sound exciting? Suzanne, what's the rest of May look like for you? There's going to be a lot of, oh, it's so nice, I got to get outside. And then when you finally do, you forgot your sunscreen.
The rest of May. Okay. And yes, we have time. We still have a few more minutes. And I think we're at the end of our questions. So if you're out there watching, good time to ask. There are a lot of weeks when there are people that don't get to ask their questions. So anybody out there that hasn't asked a question, yeah, Ollie's pretty good. He gets that from his dad. Okay, the rest of May for Suzanne. Oh, really?
Can you move those cards over?
Oh, of course I can. it looks like you might have a little bit of a honeymoon period. Massimo must be getting good news of some sort, because it looks like there's a little bit of, when you get good news, you kind of do the honeymoon kind of thing, which is good, because you guys are heading in the right direction. I mean, Massimo, it's good for him to go out there and find out what else is out there for him, because he's going to find something new, and it's going to put him in a much better mood. Even though for the rest of May, yeah, you're going to have to slice the meat a little bit thinner and be careful about the money. That's no biggie, That's a passing thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Overall, it's going to be more good than bad. It's going to be active. You're going to be doing a lot. I think that the only bad thing about May really is just that still waiting on money. But it looks like there's a lot of fire and activity around you. And the good kind of fire, like the fire in your soul, the motivation, not the kind that costs you your kitchen.
And next we have Jasmine. Will this connection between Edgar and I be successful, regardless of what others are saying? People are saying we won't work out, but I think the contrary. He's a Gemini and I'm a Libra.
Oh, Jasmine, you don't have to. First off, don't feel like you have to justify a relationship, and definitely don't feel like you have to explain it to anybody.
You're the one in the relationship.
That's right. That's right. As far as being a Gemini and a Libra, well, the producer is laughing because I think a lot of Libras, he's a Libra, but Geminis, usually I feel sorry for people who are born Geminis. They just have issues. Okay, so anyhow, let's see. I'm not going to think about what other people say. Let's see what Jasmine and Edgar. What do the cards think about Jasmine and Edgar? Oof. We'll get to that. So before I turn these over, I am going to address this particular card, because this particular card is about skills. And in your case, it's about relationship skills. And worrying about what other people think or any of that other stuff is not as important as focusing on the person that's around you and getting to know each other, because you're building a relationship and you build it brick by brick, and you build it on things like trust and honesty, shared goals and ambitions. So many more things than just love and lust, although both of those are a lot of fun, especially the lust. Some of what they say about Edgar is a little bit true. He can be a bit of a spark, and he can be a bit impulsive. So you'll have to figure out a way to deal with that without listening to other people. Yeah. There's someone for everyone, and just because he rubs other people the wrong way doesn't mean you should pay attention to him, because I think that he's impulsive and he doesn't always know which way he's going, but it feels like this is something that you can turn around, and it talks about your skill set. So focus more in on the relationship and the future than what other people think. Because people are kind of right. He can be a bit of a jerk, but he's a jerk that you love. Yeah. He's a jerk that you love. And that's that. I think eventually in this relationship, because it does talk about working out, I do think that there's a great deal to be, I see good potential in the relationship. If you continue in this relationship, know that the people that you hang around with and your support group are going to have to change. And there's also a big thing about truth. So honesty is pretty much, the most important thing here. Don't sugarcoat Edgar, because You know, he does have his flaws, but that doesn't mean that you don't love him, and that doesn't mean that you can't have a good life with him.
Woohoo! What do you want to do now?
Oh, okay. So,
We're out of questions.
yes. I told him I'm a serious person. I want to pursue a commitment. Well, how about you just build a relationship with him and see where it ends up? Because, you know, I think the thing that scares men a lot is being with a woman who wants to be married for the sake of being married. Because he wants to be more than a wedding ring. Don't just put up with him. Stand up to him. You know?
Hey, why don't you tell the folks where they can get a reading?
You can get a reading at the spa near the tracks right here in Stratford and call 519-273-1293.
272.
1293, right? 272-1293.
Yeah, you said 273.
Oh, I'm sorry. 272-1293. Okay. So, and also for those who would like a
You
reading
can stop
online.
shuffling.
What? Oh. Those of you who would like a reading online, send an email to the queenofoogaboga@gmail.com or send your question to the queenofoogaboga@gmail.com and for next week's show. And your question will be read first. Also, mark the first Friday in July for an event in Stratford at the Queen's with the Psychic Soul Sisters, which is myself, Lynn Stevenson from Third Eye View, and Pam Mahoney from Lost in Spirit. Also, I have appeared a couple times on Third Eye View, and you can actually see those episodes online. Go to Rogers.com and look for Rogers Kincardine. And under Rogers Kincardine, you'll find the Third Eye View and past episodes of the Third Eye View. And you can find the two that I've been on. There is one with myself and Pam Mahoney. So the Psychic Soul Sisters are together for the first time. We were together for the second time back at the end of April for the May Day event. And we'll be together for the third time, the first Friday in July, for the Psychic Soul Sisters event, which will include open readings, merchandise, and a display of psychic tools. Hands-on display of psychic tools. Okay, good night, Donna. And I am going to bid everybody good night. Thank you for tuning in. Please tune in again next week. Remember to tell your friends, tell the people you work with, tell everybody about me. And I will see you, my friends, next week. Good night.